What's up, guys? Sloppy Joe here. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to do a short video, and what it is about. This is my SGL-21 7.62 39 AK. It is empty. I just have the magazine in there because Bakelite always looks good in an AK. But what I'm putting out there to you guys, subscribers and viewers in general who happen to come across this, the question is optics. What I'm looking to do is possibly buy a couple optics for this, new optics. One set being a Russian, maybe like a 4-power traditional Russian optic, either from Kalinka or something like that. 4-power fixed sight with a 400-meter rangefinder built in. I've never used an optic like that before. I have had Western style optics on this rifle, and it shoots very well. But I want to do something maybe a little bit more traditional in terms of a magnified optic. So I'm putting it out to you guys what you think is a good setup to run. Now I don't want to do a Texas. I'm trying to think of the company that makes it, but basically they call it the Texas dog leg, the railed top cover. I don't want to do something like that. I want to try to keep it traditional. What I have on here. I've got a KVAR, I believe it's the KV-04S slide side mount. This is mine. I own this, and I've put some Western optics that I've borrowed from friends and tried out just to see what I like. And then this is just a True Glow green dot red dot that a buddy of mine gave me for nothing. So I believe these are what, 50 bucks, something like that. I don't know. I've shot a little bit with it. It's okay, but I was thinking maybe because I know Russian optics in general, or at least not Russian, but the Belarusian, that the like Kalinka, those guys, the POSPs, they're made in Belarus or Belarus. I know they're 200 to 250 bucks. So my thinking was getting a magnified optic, very traditional Russian style, and then getting some kind of a red dot, a better red dot than this. I've heard a lot of chatter about the Vortex Sparks, the Bushnell TRS-25s, I believe. And I want to try something out there, because those are, what, 100 to 200 bucks. So for $400 to $450, end up with a nice red dot and a nice piece of glass for my AK. It'll make it different ways to fire it. You know, maybe I'm at the range and I want to shoot bench at 100 yards with a magnified optic, or if I'm up in the mountains and I want to kill bowling pins or shoot clays and I want to use a red dot. Something makes the rifle a little bit more versatile other than just shooting through the irons, which I do all the time with this rifle. I'm very comfortable with the irons, so I want to mix it up a little bit. So I leave it to you guys. The only questions I have and what you can recommend is, do any of the Russian style optics, are they center, as in are they centered over the body of the rifle, or are they like Dragunov or PSL, where they sit slightly off to the left and high, therefore you're not really getting a good cheek weld. You're actually having to raise your, almost up to like the bottom of your chin to get a cheek weld. I know with this KVAR mount, this is right above the top cover, to where I'm using right here to get my eye through the reticle. So that is a factor I would like to keep with. I'd like to keep everything as low as possible. I've seen guys mount some of these optics, and they're almost like this, shooting through them to where almost none of their face is contacting the stock. So that's something to keep in mind with your suggestions. I know for a time I had a Tapco 6-position telescoping stock on here, and that was awesome just purely for the length of pull, because these stocks are much shorter than most Westerners are accustomed to, being that we're usually a little bit bigger, longer armed. I've been to Russia and Ukraine visiting my wife's family, and a lot of their people are not as tall as us, we'll say, not as long-limbed. So again, I'm going to stay traditional. At worst, I will put on a butt extension. I've seen those for the AKs that still have the hole for the cleaning kit in the buttstock. So there's options, and I want to know what they are. I want to try to avoid buying something that isn't going to work or something that I don't like. I'd rather guys that have asked the same questions that I have, and have found good solutions to those questions. Post comments, give me suggestions, let me know where my dollars are best spent for outfitting this rifle with good quality glass and a nice red dot. I've seen the Russian Cobras. They're $400 or $500. I'm not sure I want to spend that much money right now, especially if I already have the mount. If I could spend even $200 on like a Vortex Spark or something, and have a good red dot, I'd be okay with that. So, other than that, that's it for now. If you guys have any comments, questions, feel free to post up. Other than that, I'm looking forward to your posts, your comments, your suggestions, and even more so, I'm looking forward to making some purchases and get out and try them out and have some fun. Sad to say, I've not been shooting this rifle a lot this summer. I've actually been doing a lot of handgun shooting. So I've purchased several handguns. You've seen some videos and reviews early in the year, CZ, FEGs, a couple other Makarovs, but I've been having fun with those all summer. And sadly, every time I go to the range, there seems to be a lot of people camped out on the 100-yard benches with rifles sitting on the bench pointed down range, and no men behind them. They're all standing off behind the range, bullshitting and smoking cigarettes and talking about how great their guns are, but not shooting them. So I don't know how it is at your guys' local ranges, but that happens quite a bit here. And best you can do is give the stink eye and ask them to shoot or move on, but usually that's caught up with a lot of flack, and guys don't seem to like that. So, but winter's coming, and winter is when I do most of my shooting, because the cold, adverse weather doesn't bother me. Rain, the snow, especially in the mountains. You'll see a lot of videos, especially this winter. The wife and I up in the mountains doing a lot of shooting in the snow, things like that. That's actually my favorite time of year to shoot. Also, because when you're out in the mountains in the snow, most of the fire roads are harder to access because of the snow and the ice. So having a good four-wheel drive gets you in and out a lot better. Thus, there's less campers, hikers, things like that to worry about, who also don't call the sheriffs and the rangers when they hear people shooting in obvious designated shooting areas. So less hassles, we'll say. So that's it. Feel free, comments, suggestions, posts. Looking forward to them all. Thanks for viewing. Whoever views this, subscribers, thank you. Please, like my videos, share them as much as you can. And once again, Sloppy Joe. Looking forward to all you guys' suggestions. We'll talk to you later.